cultivated over a period. Color, color, color. The Indian is made to feel he's better than the African. The colored is made to feel he's better than the Indian. And the white man feels he's supreme. He's better than them all. This is, it's cultivated. See, each and everyone feels also that way. I'm better than the other because I'm lighter than him. So, in that country, it has been my hobby talking to people. I talk to people. I love to talk about God, about religion. I like to share. And not only sharing my thoughts, I like to share the food that I eat. And I have invited Indians, Africans, coloreds, whites to my home. Priests, businessmen, ordinary men, invite them. I have invited dozens of white people to my home. Men and women. For meals and a chat. They enjoy my chat and they enjoy my food. Our food is exotic. You know, the Pakistani food. I don't know if you have tasted it. If you haven't, you must try. Our samosas. A lot of people don't know what a samosa is. Somebody, I think from Jeddah, he wrote to me, he says, look man, on one of your talks, you know, you're talking about samosas. What is this samosa, you know? I said, look, when I come, I'll ask some Pakistani fellow to make some and he'll make you to eat it, to taste it, what it is. Exotic food. You know, the other Indians meaning those who are Hindu, Tamils, Hindustanis, Telugus, they enjoy our food. The African enjoys our food. The white man enjoys our food. So they enjoy my talk and they enjoy my food. And they thank me profusely when they go. But no white man has ever called me to his house for a cup of tea in 40 years. Why? I ask them sometimes, point blank. I says, you people, don't you know how to reciprocate in your community? Do you ever reciprocate? Of course you do. Then how is it that no white man has ever called me to his house for a cup of tea? They meet me in the street subsequently, he says, you know, how's the missus? It's very fine, convey my regards to her. And you know, how grateful he is for the lovely meal he had. But he doesn't say, what about coming and having a cup of tea with me? Bring the family down. He doesn't do that. Why not? The reason is that at the back of his mind, he is thinking of me as a man of color. I am an Indian. I am an inferior person. If I ever went to his home with my family, you know, with our attire, the long trousers and the downy, you know, the attire, the long dress and all that, and me with my funny headgear and my beard, I'm going and knocking at number 10 Downing Street, and there are people watering the garden, and the lady of the house, she opens the door, and she recognizes me. Oh, hello, Mr. Deedat, come in, come in. And people are watching, so look at her, you know, how she welcomes this coolie, you know. And I go inside, and we sit down, and we have a chat. 5 minutes goes to half an hour. So what's going on inside there? Is this Mrs. Smith running a shebeen, you know, brothel or something, you know, selling liquor, illicit liquor? What? What's going on? So at the back of the mind, they're terrified. They have that feeling that they must reciprocate, but what will people say? And if I happen to be there, if the man's brother-in-law comes along, he'll have to apologize for my presence. So, you know, this is Mr. Deedat. You know, we went to his home, and him and his family, they gave us a wonderful time. All that he has to do. In other words, to excuse the reason for me being there. I'm not supposed to be there. But if it's another white man, that is Mr. Brown, hello, hello. So, this is Mr. White, hello, hello, so. But me, he has to explain why Deedat is there. What does it? Programming. It's a color conscious, even the priests, ministers, everybody is the same. Programming. We all get programmed, brainwashed into different attitudes. Laws have a tendency to change characters of people over a period of time. You have harsh laws, stern laws. Over a period, the people also become hard and stern, unforgiving. So between Moses and Jesus, by the time Jesus comes on the scene, the Jews had become hard-hearted. They had forgotten forgiveness. So they went for the letter of the law. A man was trying to chase the birds from the field with that old-fashioned sling. You remember the one that David used? And it damaged my eye. So I go to the judge. I said, look, this guy damaged my eye. I want to damage his. The man pleads. He said, look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. It was an accident. Forgive me. I said, no, the law says an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. That's what the law says. So he said, look, I will compensate you. I'll give you a kid from the flock. I'll give you a heifer. Forgive me. I said, no, the law says an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. He has a right. That's the law. This is what Jesus finds among his people. They're going for the letter of the law and they're forgetting the spirit. So as a spiritual physician, he prescribes a remedy for the hard-heartedness, for going for the letter of the law and forgetting the spirit. He says, no, you must forgive, man, you must forgive. So how many times, Lord? So he says 70 times 7. It means indefinitely. It's not to be taken literally. 70 times 7 means 490. You don't start counting. Look, this is the 5th time now. Huh? This is the 50th time now you have wronged me. This is 450 times. No, you don't do that. In other words, indefinitely. Who's going to start counting 490? 7 7 49, 490. No. Forgive, forgive. Turn the other cheek. Beautiful, beautiful teaching. For a certain sickness. You don't want to forgive. You don't want to forgive. He says, forgive, man, forgive. If a fellow strikes you in the right cheek, give him the other. If a man makes you to walk 1 mile, walk with him 2. If a man takes away your coat, give him your cloak also. Agree with thine adversary quickly, said Jesus, while thou art with him on the way, before he takes you before the magistrate and makes you to part with your last farthing. Beautiful teaching. For a sickness. If you haven't got that sickness, it's suicide. For the sickness, beautiful remedy. It is not as a tonic, it's not as a panacea. I have been telling my British people, you see, they have been ruling my people for over 100 years. So when I go there, I says, you know, you are good Christians. You know what you have to have done? When Hitler wanted to invade Britain, you good Christians. Jesus says, turn the other cheek. Jesus said, if a man takes your coat, give him your cloak also. So your coat is your country and your cloak is your empire. You should have welcomed Hitler and the army. Said, come, take, man, you can have the empire as well. You can have Britain and you can have our empire as well. Take it. Good Christians. Why didn't you do it? So no, it's unnatural. It's unnatural. What you did was natural. You have to defend your person and your possession. And to extend your hostilities to a reasonable amount of satisfaction and retaliation. In the state of nature, everyone has a right to do that. What you did was natural. It was Islamic. But it's against the teachings of Jesus. You are not a good Christian. You are a hypocrite. You say you're following Christ, but you're actually following Muhammad. This is the teaching of Muhammad, that you must defend yourself with whatever you have. Your teaching was, give in, give in. If a man makes you to walk 1 mile, walk 2. How? So, you see, this is a remedy for a sickness. His teaching was, as he says himself, Jesus Christ, he is telling his people, the Jews, that he has come for the Jews. I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. I have only come for the Jews. That is what he says. The remedy is for the Jews, for their sickness, not for yours. I would be happy if the European world will practice what Jesus told them. Practice that. Turn the other cheek. Give your coat and your cloak also. Come, I want to see you do that. I want to see who does that. Which guy, which Christian, where? Impractical. Suicidal. But preaching sounds beautiful. You know, love, turning the other cheek. Where is that hypocrite who does that? There isn't. So the teaching, each prophet, according to the needs of his people, he prescribed a remedy. And in that system of religion, Islam is the culminating point. Among the Semitic religions, Islam is the fulfillment of the teachings of Moses and Jesus. It is the same religion on different levels. It's not a different religion. If mankind creates variations, creates frills, adornments, this is the nature of man. He is not satisfied with simple, straightforward instructions. This is man. He is complicating things himself.